the first set of notes is going to be about volume of a cone. So with your foldable closed, please write down the formula on top of the cone that's in the picture. And the formula is V equals 1/3 pi r squared h. And then open up the flap, and we're going to do the first example at the top. Example 1, copy down that the height is 6 inches and the diameter is 9 inches. So something we're going to do first every single time is write down the formula. The formula is V equals 1/3 pi r squared h. Then we can substitute in everything that we've been given. So we're looking for the volume, 1/3 pi, and I see r for radius. Radius is not given to me, but diameter is. So I'm going to cut 9 in half because radius is half of the diameter, and that's going to equal 4.5. Please don't just copy numbers. Make sure you punch them into your calculator and you're able to get the same answers. So for r, I have 4.5 squared, and then times h, which is the height, which is 6. Now I'm going to solve, and I'm just going to do this part right here. So I have v equals 1/3 pi, and then in my calculator, I'm going to do 4.5 times 4.5, and then multiply that by 6, and that will give me 121.5. Then I have the 1/3 to deal with. 1/3 means you're taking a third of something or dividing by 3, or you're multiplying by 1/3. So you have a choice. You can actually take your calculator and do 1 divided by 3 and get an answer, and then multiply that by 121.5. If you do that, you will get, come on, you will get 40.5 pi inches cubed, and that is going to be your exact answer. You could also just take 121.5 and divide it by 3 because that's taking a third of it, and you would still get 40.5 pi. So that's the exact because it includes pi. To find the approximate, we would actually just multiply 40.5 times pi, or 3.14, and you would get 127.2 inches cubed. That is the approximate answer, and you may box it. For the next example, we are going to do this in the bottom section. So please write example 2, volume, height, and then find the diameter. First thing we're going to do is acknowledge that we're looking for the diameter. So let's go ahead and write D equals below it so we remember that that's the answer that we're looking for. And then we're going to, as usual, start by writing the formula. Now we can substitute in what we've been given. V is volume, and we were given that, 48 pi, equals, bring down the 1/3 pi, r. We did not get r, but we know that r, the radius, is related to the diameter, so that's what we're actually going to be solving for. Times h, the height is 4, so times 4. Now let's start to solve. I'm always going to want to get rid of pi first because it's on both sides and it's just going to cancel. And I'm left with 48 equals 1/3 r squared times 4. I see times 4 needs to go because I'm still solving for r. So multiplication of 4, the opposite inverse operation is divide by 4. So I'm going to divide both sides by 4. Divide and cancel. And I know that 48 divided by 4 is 12 equals 1/3 r squared. Still trying to solve for r. I see a fraction, 1/3. Fraction is a division problem. So the opposite of division is multiplication. And remember, we're going to multiply by the reciprocal on both sides. So multiply by the reciprocal means we're flipping it over and multiplying. So we did something to both sides, and now we can cancel. And the canceling is of the fraction. And I know 3 times 12 is 36 equals, and I have r squared left over. To get rid of the squared, you have to do the square root of both sides. I'm going to rewrite this part so I can see the work. So I'm going to do square root, and cancel. So then I have 6 equals r. That's the radius, and we are looking for the diameter. So we need to multiply 6 by 2, and that's how we're going to get that d equals 12 centimeters. Now let's close the foldable because we're going to go to the volume of a cylinder. I'm sorry, a sphere. So with it closed, write the formula. V equals 4/3 pi r cubed. And let's go to example 1. The radius is 5 centimeters. And the first thing we're going to do is write our formula on the inside. Let's substitute in what we've been given. So V equals 4/3 pi, and then the radius r is 5 to the 3rd power. I'm going to do this part only, which is 5 times 5 times 5. So V equals 4/3 pi 125. The first answer is going to be with pi still. So we're just going to multiply those two digits, those two numbers. So you have a choice. You can do, excuse me, in your calculator, 4 divided by 3 equals times 125. That will give you the answer. And the answer is 166.6 repeating pi centimeters cubed. That's our exact answer. Another way you could solve this is if you multiplied 125 times 4 equals, and then divided it by 3, whichever way seems more comfortable to you. But either way, you should get the volume is 166.6 repeating pi centimeters cubed. But now we want to take it one step further. So keeping that number in your calculator, simply multiply that by pi using the pi button, or 3.14, and you get your approximate answer, which is 523.3 centimeters cubed. For the last one, example 2, what is the volume of a hemisphere? It's very important that you capitalize the word hemisphere because it changes everything. With a diameter of 4 centimeters. First, you have to know what hemisphere is referring to. And it is the half, the top or the bottom half, or left or right half of a sphere. So that means we're going to solve this as if it were a sphere problem. And then at the end, we're going to cut that answer in half or divide by 2. So let's write the formula. Let's substitute the number we've been given. Not R, because we were given R, and in our case, R is 2, because we have diameter, so we divide this by 2 cubed. Now we're just going to do the numbers. So in your calculator, you can do 4 divided by 3 times 2 times 2 times 2, because there's 3 2's to multiply. When you do that, you get V equals 10.6 repeating pi. Then to find the approximate, we're simply going to take 10.666 repeating, which is still in our calculator, and multiply it by pi using the button or 3.14, and you should get about 33.493 repeating. And I want you to leave that in your calculator, because we're not looking for the volume of this sphere, we're looking for the hemisphere, so we have to divide our answer by 2. So we're going to take 33.493, which is already in your calculator, divide it by 2. Once you do that, you will get approximately 16.7 centimeters cubed.